most interesting thing to me about the Diddy case is that there's a handful of people who have been saying the same thing, which is from when they were young, from the moment they laid eyes on Diddy on screen, first time they saw Diddy on screen, they were like, yeah, this guy is giving me the ick. Like, something's very off with this man. And honestly, same, like literally same. I'll never forget the first time I ever saw Diddy. Like, I was terrified. And something I've really noticed is if you were an indigo child, if you were like a gifted child, a special child, you saw things early on, you were highly intuitive or had a lot of discernment at a very young age, I'm noticing like those type of people, now that they're older, they're looking back at when they're younger and they first saw Diddy appear on their screen, and they're just like, something's off with this guy. And I was just like, I relate to that so much. This was back in the day when BET was actually popping. There was a show called 106 in Park for the younger Gen Zs. I don't know if you know about that, but I'm sure the older Gen Zs know. 106 in Park was that show back in the day. And I just remember really resonating with a lot of like the Black talent, the Black creatives, Black artists who would come on that show and showcase their talents, and just really like relating to them, seeing myself in them, being very proud and happy for them. And like from Method Man to Janet Jackson, Christina Milian, like there's so many celebrities back in the day that I just really looked up to. I will never forget the first time I saw P. Diddy. I had no idea who he was until I started watching 106 in Park. It was his music video, Bad Boy. I don't know if you know his song, We Ain't Going Nowhere, We Ain't Go Nowhere, We Can't Be Stopped Now, because it's Bad Boy. For like, it's a fire song. It's a good song. I'm not gonna take that away from Diddy. He noticed good talent. They made good music, even though it wasn't his music. I don't care if he was featured on it. It was not his music. He had an eye for like creative people, creative folks. And so I really like the song is good. I'm not gonna take that away from him, but I'll never forget, he had all his artists that he signed at that time. Like I think Mace was on there. But yeah, I think Mace was on there, Black Rob, Mark Curry was on there. And when I would see them and other people that were on screen, I felt indifferent. I was pretty content when they would come on the screen. But when I saw Diddy, I don't think I blinked the first time I saw Diddy. I'll never forget it. Like I was like 6 or 7 years old, and he came on my screen, and literally like I was probably sitting back in my couch like this, holding a toy, and this is me watching Diddy. Like I did not blink once when I saw that man. Like I just had this weird icky feeling. I don't know. Like it was just all so weird. You can just tell by certain people's energy, aura, like the spirit they give off, whether like they're good people. And you can be wrong, but it's just like the fact that I'm 6 years old and I know nothing about like human relationships, human interaction, spirituality, all this stuff. Like I know nothing about that, but the fact that like something in my spirit when I was a kid used to make me pause and just stare at Diddy with a blank look on my face and just kind of like squint and be very disturbed by him and his energy and his aura just told me everything I need to know. If you're a millennial, older Gen Z, Gen X definitely, you remember, like you were not allowed to talk shit about Diddy back in the day. You better not say anything negative about Diddy. Like the way he was so propped up in Hollywood, especially Black Hollywood, like people loved him. And if you said anything bad about Diddy, you were labeled a hater, you're labeled mean, you don't know what you're talking about, people would be so aggressive. Like the way people would defend Diddy was crazy. And it's just hilarious that fast forward all these years later, everything's coming out the way it's coming out. This is why I just love these type of conversations and listening to these types of conversations and being a part of these conversations. I think like something that always quietly saves me is just the internet and social media in general, because there's sometimes where I'll like think something or I think a certain way, and I'll think I'm crazy for thinking like that, or I think something's wrong with me for thinking like that. Having people on social media also say the same thing always like just helps me reaffirm that I'm not crazy, you know. So I really appreciated like the fact that I'm scrolling through social media, and it's not a lot of people like there, but the fact that I saw at least 2 or 3 videos since this whole Diddy thing came out, with 50 Cent's documentary coming out on Netflix. Since then, I've seen like probably 3 or 4 videos of people being like, listen, I remember being a kid, and first time I saw Diddy, I got an eerie feeling. Like I felt like something was very wrong with this guy. He was very bizarre, he was very weird. Like he just gave me an icky feeling, and I was like a kid and I didn't understand it, but it's just like fast forward all these years later, now we see why, you know. So I'm just like, oh my god, this was me as well. I had this exact same experience. 50 Cent putting out this documentary, and he's just like going on this like tour, just smiling and cheesing, doing interviews and laughing and making little smart remarks. I'm not defending him. I'm not a Diddy defender at all. Like you guys just heard me drag him, but like there's something very eerie about 50 Cent doing this documentary too, because it's just like there are people in this there are people a part of this that were harmed and traumatized by everything Diddy did to them, and you are here creating this documentary to troll him, to be petty, to be shady. Totally understandable, get your lick back. But it's just like, it seems like 50 Cent doesn't even seem to care that there were people harmed and traumatized in this. Like for him, it's just about getting his lick back and trolling Diddy. 50 Cent actually doesn't care about the victims harmed in this. Is the like when you listen to his interviews, and even the questions the interviewers are asking, it's like they don't, it's like the whole thing is just weird, you know. It's just like you guys are capitalizing off something that literally destroyed a bunch of people's lives, you know. If you were one of those kids who peeped everything about Diddy and could tell that something was off with him, I'm sure you're with me when I say we feel vindicated. Like I just feel so seen and heard, and like everybody who was shaming me in the early 2000s, the 2010s, I'm sure you guys feel silly now. Yeah. This is why, like, honestly, and it's like, this is why I don't have any favorite. People be like, who's your favorite celebrity? I'm like, I don't have a favorite celebrity. I really don't, because I don't know these people personally. Do I like how creative some of them are and how talented some of them are? Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know these people at the end of the day. You know, like people are like, what's a celebrity that would make you starstruck? None of them. And you know, all these throughout the years, there's so many things that have been exposed about celebrities that just make them a lot of them seem like very like demonic and satanic. So I'm just like, yeah, no. Love the music, give us the talent, but everything else about them kind of seems shady to me. But yeah, if you're an indigo child or you're highly intuitive and super spiritual, like we feel vindicated right now. Like watching everything play out the way it has. But yeah, anyways, that's all for this video. If you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, were you an indigo child? Did you have a high discernment or were highly intuitive when you were younger? Did you suspect anything about Diddy? Because I definitely did. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Why am I putting my hand down? Okay. Take 19. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.